is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause I will drown in pink. Oh, 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 oh. I've been so overcritical of myself. I've been afraid to say I'm in too deep. Lighting up a cigarette, make up for it well. I am one of those you'll never trust, so drink me. Feeling like an angel. Feeling like I wish I always did. Like an angel. 'Cause this time I might be tempted. Take no time to underestimate yourself. I'm still looking for something pure and sweet. I found it. Yeah, I'm a stranger when I'm always well. Don't you ever notice I run in place and you stand still? Complications always get me into these situations again, because I might be tempted. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with complications always get me into these situations again, because I might be tempted.
Yo, 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 yo! What is up, people? Let's go hit that like, hit that love button. The love button. Oh, hey, how we doing? Yeah, I love you. I'm in love. Let's go. Have a moment of song. You need anything like I need you. It's over. Do you need like I need you? Woo! I got no place to be alone, my friend. He cut his wrist instead. There's your answer. You better save yourself, or else nothing like success.
I would rather be in hell than breathe. Do you need
Let's go.
anything like I need you?
It's over.
Do you need anything like I need you? No, I do.
So the thing with the music is the stuff we listen to right now on the stream, you can only listen to here. But you can hear other music of mine right there at those links. The stuff we listen to here is stuff before this. Eventually, I think we're going to be able to listen to that other stuff here too, right? But it's all mine. That's mine as well. Like the links I just put in the chat are mine. And it's my commercially available music on Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube Music, right? Let Go After Glow's a solo album, which is, you know, I played all the instruments on it. Failure Looks So Good was a 3-piece band version of the Wanteds. And then what you hear here on the stream is shit I can play without copyright issues, which is like music of mine from, you know, before 2003, essentially. So the shit you hear on the stream right now, you can only hear on the stream. I don't know if I'll ever release it widely. Maybe. We'll see. I sometimes sell it in CD form on the website, and when I upgrade the website, I may throw it in there too. But we'll see. We'll see. But tonight, though, woo! Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh.
Do you need anything like I need you?
Do you need
Anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything?
Dude, no way. There's a documentary about the band Failure. Like, no way, dude. I love that band. Dude, on Hulu, every time you lose your mind, dude, I'm gonna check that out. I love Failure. Like, Failure was one of my favorite 90s bands in LA. Like, seriously, they were so good. But they never broke, which was weird. I don't know why. I don't know why they never broke. You know what I mean? Because I liked them so much better than Incubus and those other guys, right? Dude, they were like so much better. Dude, that's crazy. They, like, I loved them. I fucking love them. You like Incubus? See, I didn't like Incubus. My lawyer was like their lawyer, and you know, he was like so in love with Incubus, and they were huge. I'm not gonna diss them because they like blew up, and they were like the darlings of the LA scene, right? But they were like the critical darlings in the late 90s. I just didn't like their music. I mean, they were really good. They put on a great show. I didn't really like their music, right? It wasn't my vibe. But like the lawyer that we shared, he was like, oh my God, dude, he was so loved them. I mean, as he should, right? He helped him actually get signed. You know, he was like part of the reason why they got signed. He was on a crusade to get them signed. They were really good. They deserve to get signed. I mean, but I just thought Failure was like so much better as a band, and their shows were better, and fucking, but Failure just never, man, you know what I'm saying? They just never took off, which is crazy. Failure was like probably my favorite LA band in the 90s. Do they really? Yeah, I haven't listened to any fucking new shit from Failure. I'm trying to think of who else that were big 90s LA bands. Let me see here. Let me look at some names and try to remember. Because, I mean, I was huge into Jane's Addiction, but they were over in the early 90s, right? I remember, like, obviously NoFX was really good, but I wasn't into that scene. That was more an Orange County thing, right? And Tool was big, and then Tool, like Perfect Circle, like my friend Paz was in that, and she like sort of became part of that scene. They were really good, right? But man, Failure was like probably my favorite 90s band. They were so good. Fucking good shit, man. Weezer was pretty big too. 𝗙•? Yeah, 𝗙•'s different scene, boss. Right? Dude, way different scene. Not my scene at all, boss. You know what I mean? I mean, that's one thing. I don't know what it's like in the rest of the country, but in like LA, dude, are they even from LA? Like those scenes did not mix. So I was in LA, I was in the like indie, like fucking alternative rock scene that was like fucking drug users, high energy shows in like, you know, we played the Strip sometimes, but mostly off the Strip. But we were like a satellite of like the goth, right? I mean, as a young person, I was really into The Cure and all of the like 80s sort of, you know, Depeche Mode and New Order and all these bands like the Joy Division sort of spin-offs. So I was closer to the goth scene. Okay. So the scenes didn't really mix, right? The goth scene was in the sort of androgynous, like not cock rock, right? It was sort of the androgynous fucking, you know, indie rock, a lot of psychedelia, a lot of off the fucking Strip shows at parties and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that was the scene that I was in, which was like Jane's Addiction and Fishbone and you know what I mean? And like those were like the areas that I hung out at, like the Anti Club and Scream when it was on Highland, and English Acid on Santa Monica, Peanuts, Dragonfly. I lived right across from Dragonfly. And well, so the thing about it though, Ash, is I like all kinds of music too. But when you're in a music scene, there's like some sort of rules, I guess, to the music scene. Now, I could travel, right? I could go. I went to the Strip. I went to Gazzari's. I went to the Rainbow. I went and saw bands outside of the scene, but I didn't like, that's not where I hung. You know what I'm saying? Like I hung where like our scene was. You know what I mean? The scene is to prevent other men from having access to your scene's women. No, I don't think it was that at all, right? I think the scene was more like, you want me to be honest? The scene identified your moral compass and it identified your politics in a way, right? Because you had like the cock rockers up in Hollywood, like in the Strip, and the people that fucking hung out at Gazzari's, but they were like dicks, right? They were degrading towards women. They were fucking super misogynist, super like homophobic, right? Even though they dress like women, there was like a I don't know, like a dick swinging that went on. And then the goth scene was more like the gender fluid people and the people that were weirdos and sort of freaks. I mean, it was very different, right? Like the people from the cock rock scene were they were more like the football players from high school went on to start bands and shit, right? Prom King goes and starts a band. He was in the fucking the cock rock scene, right? So it's weird. It's like, now that I think about it, we never talked about politics, but it really was like political in a way. You know, that was kind of around gender identity, right? Because the people that were sort of like feminine dudes and weirdo dudes, outlandish dudes, were not readily accepted into the cock rock scene. Then you had other scenes like the rockabilly, who were like, they didn't care so much about the gender identity, but theirs was all about how you look, right? You had to look a really specific way with the rockabillys and shit. And the Orange County punks they kind of could blend in anywhere, but they didn't really hang out in LA. You know what I'm saying? And that lounge scene was actually really big in the 90s too. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's interesting. I haven't really thought about it. You know, when did Rage Against the Machine become woke? Dude, Rage was always woke. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? Like, come on, dude. They're like one of the wokest bands out there. Dude, Tom Morello, the guitarist of Rage, he went to fucking Harvard, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those guys were like educated, woke. You know what I mean? I mean, they became part of the machine when they became obviously a financial success. But like, dude, Morello went to Harvard. He was like a fucking a student of like music and shit. You know what I mean? Dude, it's crazy. I love how like when I encounter right wingers who are like, Rage Against the Machine, they think they're all rebellious. You're from Chicago? Dude, let's go. Dude, I feel like in the 90s, dude, everybody was woke. You know what I mean? All the music I listened to was woke. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, right? All the music I listened to. Dude, like, you know, we were sort of a rebellion though against the dick rock because LA was huge with the dick rock. Okay? The cock rock, like the Warrant and Cherry Pie, fucking White Snake. You know, Motley Crue was like the rebellious side of that, but they had all these fucking bands that had like teased hair and spandex, but they were all like white guys. That whole scene was like white Midwestern fucking guys, right? Like Axl Rose, dude, he's from fucking Indiana. He was as a white a fucking hick, like, you know what I mean, redneck motherfucker as you can imagine. And all of the scene in the cock rock on the strip was white. It was like white Midwestern fucking dudes that fucking came to LA to fucking be rock stars and shit. And like, man, and I was more the gender and fucking racially mixed, like more androgynous group of people, right? Yeah, I mean, as the 90s wore on, nobody cared about people being gay. In the start of the 90s, it was still fucking, people were still like freaked out about it. In some scenes, right? In some scenes. It depended on the scene. Early 90s backlash against the 80s rat scene. Yeah, dude, it came down to 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍, guys. I feel like 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 was the whole thing. Because, so 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍, like, didn't really have bands. It was a dance club, but it was like a hair band dance club, okay? And it was a place where it was, yeah, it was very glam rock. It was very like teased hair, but you would go in there, and if you didn't look a certain way, like all the girls that went to 𝗙𝗍𝗪's would only hook up with somebody who was long-haired, like glam rocker, hairband kind of guy. But everybody used to go to 𝗙𝗍𝗪's, but it created this huge resentment of like, fuck these people that are like, all they're concerned about is image. You know what I mean? And that was a big thing. Like in the 90s, people got sick of bands that were only about image. Like we were craving substance. You know what I mean? And so I became a part of the group that were kind of like, fuck the people who care about image. But the dirty little secret is we cared about image too. Like we were so image conscious. We were just all different, right? We were very image conscious, but there wasn't like one image. There were like 100 images. But my God, we were image conscious. We were. I mean, dude, I fucking had a very specific like way that I used to dress that was fucking, you know, really grungy and you know, a lot of sweatpants under my cutoff shorts and shit. Dude, yeah, we hated Reagan. Fuck Reagan, bro. Dude, everybody kind of liked Clinton. I mean, he went on the Arsenio Hall show with a pair of Ray-Bans and played the saxophone, dude. Everyone was like, all right, I'm cool with that. Right? We were like, fuck yeah, dude. We're down with him. He was very different from fucking other presidents. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like a 70-year-old man, dude. Not in the lounge scene. Nobody cares. Yeah. David Bowie was your goat? Yeah. Dude, David Bowie was a goat. David Bowie was New York though. Right? LA was the LA fucking cock rock scene was still a little, they were a little fucking, I don't know. They were weirdos, dude. They were too bro-y. Julian Cope. Yeah, I don't know a lot about Julian Cope. But yeah, man, it was fun. Dude, the 90s was a good time though to be in bands in LA. It really was, dude. It was a good time. It really was. Dude, LA was amazing at that time. And even, you know what happened too? Is like, LA even got better because of Seattle. Right? They did. It did. It got better because of Seattle. Because what happened was all the like super douchey bands that were like desperately trying to get signed, they started moving to Seattle, trying to become the next big Seattle band. So we even had some of like the shittiest bands in LA fucking leave. It was awesome. Right? Oh shit, dude. Like the worst element of the music scene in LA, like moved to Seattle, like midway through by like 95, dude. They were like, bands were moving to Seattle trying to get signed. Oh shit. Dude, you went from Sacramento to Seattle? Dude, a lot of people did, bro. It was cool. Somebody mentioned DJs. See, I had a little beef with the DJs though, guys. I'll be honest. I did not like the DJs. They became really big and they kind of took over. And so for me, Furl, I hated the DJs. And specifically because they ruined the fucking rock and roll scene. Like, if you were around 95, right, there would be like rock shows. People were out every night going to rock shows. 93, 94, 95. It was like bumping. By 98, dude, the rock clubs were dead. Okay? The fucking DJ joints were like going off. And they were everywhere. And so it's like, it fucking kind of killed the music scene, bro. Everybody was going to the DJ fucking spaces. And all of us in the music scene, we were kind of resentful about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you were in Australia? Yeah, we got really I got pretty resentful, right? I came around later and sort of appreciated them, but it really I was not happy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It was like it just sort of killed the scene in a major way. I mean, it became really hard. Well, unless you were like getting signed, nobody wanted to come out and see your band, right? That kind of happened, right? That kind of happened, you know, near the end of the decade, like, you know, right before I moved to Portland, where, you know, it was, yeah, the rock shows were like drying up. You know what I mean? You were a 90s raver? Yeah, Jenny, my partner, she was a raver. Do I miss MTV being the great channel with exclusively music? I mean, I guess I do, but I fucking I never really watched MTV after it stopped playing music. I mean, when I remember MTV having music was like early 90s, right? 80s and early 90s. Raves were fun. I never went to a rave. I played a couple. I played one in fucking the Mojave Desert, an outdoor rave. That was really cool. And then I played a rave in like, I don't know, City of Industry or some shit like that. Somewhere down in like between fucking downtown LA and like Orange County. Played a rave. The inside one we played at the warehouse was kind of shitty. The one I played in the Mojave Desert was amazing. We played at like 5 a.m. and we had a show at a house on this hill in Topanga Canyon earlier that night. So we played a show and then we drove out to the Mojave Desert. We got there at like 3:30 in the morning and then we went on at 5 a.m. and the sun was coming up and like all these people started piling out of the tents. It was fucking incredible. And yeah, it was pretty amazing. And then I got hammered on Jägermeister and then I woke up underneath the van at like 10 in the morning, like still drunk, and it was like 150 degrees, dude. It was so hot. And then the van broke down. A fucking pin like broke in the engine or some shit, and we got stuck in a fucking bar playing Keno. I had to have my mom's boyfriend drive up and come and get us. We were like 7 hours from LA. We were 5 hours from LA. Dude, it was so... Oh, dude, that trip was so jacked. Oh, my God, dude. Oh, shit. That was crazy. But the rave itself was amazing. The next day, though, sucked, bro. It was like... Dude, it was terrible. Dude, I used to do a lot of the Jägermeister. That was sort of my vibe. Jägermeister and cocaine was my vibe. I'm glad, though, I don't do that shit anymore. That shit'll age you, man. You don't want to be doing that shit when you're, right? Like, people that are still doing blow and shit when they're 40, they're fucking up, bro. You're gonna fucking, you like Sambuca? Oh, ew. Dude, I don't know why I didn't like Sambuca. It's basically the same shit, right? No, I liked Jaeger, I liked Goldschlager, and then I drank Sapphire and tonics and did a lot of cocaine. And that was pretty much my setup, right? Cocaine, Jägermeister, Sapphire and tonics, right? And a dance club, right? I hated the DJs, but I ended up at a dance club every night at like fucking 3 a.m., right? Hated the DJs, but goddamn did I love to dance. Bro, oh shit. Oh shit, dude. Dude. Yeah, stay away from crack, though. Holy shit. Dude, I had a roommate get fucking strung out on crack, man. It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch him. He fucking... Dude, I've only seen a couple people in my life hit the skids like so fast, bro. And he got into a relationship with this fucking Hispanic girl who was a manager at a Pizza Hut where he worked, and he like destroyed her too. He got her hooked on crack, and then she started stealing from the restaurant, and they got fired. And like, oh my God, dude, I was fucking in the bathroom. I'd be like taking a shit and fucking strange people I've never seen would come in and start washing their hair in the sink. I was like, who are you? Why are you in my fucking house? Dude, it got so bad. It's like, oh my God, I've known some crackheads in my life that, dude, so sad. That shit like fucks people up, bro. It is the gnarliest shit, dude. It's like horrific to watch somebody you know and like care about, and you watch them fucking get hooked on crack cocaine, and like, dude, it's so brutal. It's like the scariest shit, man. And there's nothing you can do. In the end, you just got to figure out, how can I get away from this person? You know what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy. Ultimately, this kid, his fucking parents, like, ended up coming and picking him up and like taking him to Arizona or something, putting him in a rehab. You know what I mean? Yeah. And see, it's weird because I did it. Like, I partied with him a couple times, but it was like, dude, I don't know, man. I would like party with him for a couple of hours, and then I would go and lock myself in my room and just like not get into it. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to get fucking addicted to that shit. You know, it was like, but dude, this guy went down hard, bro. He was like so bad. He was so bad, man. It was hard to watch. Favorite places in San Francisco? I'm trying to think of where I used to play in San Francisco. I used to play at like a rock and roll laundromat. I think it was like Sit and Spin or something. And then I played at the Rickshaw Stop or something, and Bottom of the Hill. Bottom of the Hill was pretty cool, right? They had a really good like sound guy. Brainwash? Oh, that was it. Brainwash. Yeah, Sit and Spin, I think, was up in Seattle. Brainwash. That's it. Thank you, Brad. Yes. Brainwash. Yes. And then the Rickshaw Stop was a place that we used to play. And then Bottom of the Hill, right? And then I used to play in Livermore, and I played at the place in Oakland with all the Barbie dolls, the fucking punk rock club. What was that place called in Oakland that had all the fucking Barbie dolls in the fucking boxes? The Stork Club? Yeah, it's called the Stork Club, right? Dude, oh my God, it's still around, dude. The Stork? Dude, that shit is crazy, bro. I just looked it up. Dude. Yeah, no, so the Stork Club was like a punk rock fucking venue, and they had a wall of Barbie dolls, right? They had a wall of fucking Barbie dolls that were like in the boxes. Just a whole wall of fucking, yeah, it's crazy. Hit those likes, let's go. Yeah, man, it's tough. Dude, I feel like our generation was like the sort of the wake up generation, right? Because when you look in the 70s, everybody just got way out of hand, 70s and 80s with the blow. But they didn't know any better. They were just like, oh, there's going to be no harm in this. And then we saw everybody like kind of crash in the late 80s and the early 90s, and we were like, oh, fuck. By the time I was touring in the early 2000s, nobody was really doing drugs. Like, at least with the young people in the music scene, they were all straight edge, right? I don't know what it's like now, but we were kind of like, I feel like we were the wake up call, right? Where we were like, huh, dude. Let's go. But, yeah, man. Dude, yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard. You can only watch so many people like fucking end up homeless, you know, where you're just like, dude, But it is crazy though, because it's still like I couldn't stop till I got to Portland. I had to get out of LA. So and I specifically I had to get away from my mom. And not because she was a bad person, but my mom was like horribly codependent. And so what happened was I would like she would always try to rescue me. And that was a problem, right? I needed to be in a place where there was going to be nobody to rescue me if I wanted to get sober. And because I would get way fucked up and I would just like go to her house and like she would like ignore the addiction and just fucking, you know what I'm saying? And so there was a codependence that she created that I had to get away from. Like I would have ended up dead. She would have fucking killed me just trying to rescue me. And so I had to get away from her. And you know, yeah, it's crazy. And you know what's really sucks is back when Bryce was in grade school, I watched that happen to one of his friends. Like his friend's mom went through that too, where she had a kid that had a drug addiction and fucking they had that codependent thing going. He ended up ODing. And I was like, fuck, man. I'm so glad I got away. Right? You know, it's like, it wasn't her fault. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's just like a addict child and a codependent parent is the worst fucking combination. It is the worst combination because the codependent parent will never give up trying to help them. And they will help them right up to the day they fucking OD. You know what I mean? It's like brutal. But I got away from that. And then I made it. And I had to go through some hard times. Believe me, I fucking bottomed out multiple times when I got to Portland. But you know, I ended up getting sober, which is the ultimate goal. But yeah, man, I had to get out of LA. It was never gonna happen in LA, man. Dude, let's go. Pendulous, let's go. All right. Well, that's a good 40-minute intro. Dude, describe codependent. I mean, you know, it's hard to describe. It's like the opposite of an addict, okay? There's addicts that are selfish and get completely enmeshed in their own needs, and they lose sight of everybody else but them and their needs. That's what the addict does. The codependent doesn't pay any attention to their own issues, and they exclusively cater to the issues of other people. They're caretakers, okay? So codependents are like, if their partner is like fucking hammered and can't get up for work, the codependent is calling the boss, making up an excuse, fucking covering for them, making sure everything right there, like damage control. They walk around cleaning up the messes and making sure that the addict never gets in trouble, right? And making sure that the addict never suffers the consequences of their behavior. But they're simultaneously, they're like very fucked up. And the codependent has massive issues, but they play them out by caretaking the addict and always being disappointed in the addict. And the addict has somebody cleaning up their messes, but somebody who's always feeling disappointed in them that keeps their shame spiral going. And yeah, and it's a good combo. Dude, it's fucking terrible, man. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. But anywhere you find a good addict, right, you're going to find a codependent. You know what I mean? I mean, I had a number of them, dude. I had a girlfriend who was codependent. I had a mom who was codependent. I had several friends that were codependent. I had like sex partners that were codependent. I had a whole network of codependents. Dude, I mean, I had it dialed because I was such a fucking mess maker, right? I used to create these catastrophic messes. So I had to have a network of like codependent like crash houses with women where I could go when I had sort of made a wreckage of my life. I could go to like, you know, I had one in Altadena, right? This black girl in Altadena. I would just go to her house. I would just fucking call in sick and go to her house and just go be her live-in boyfriend for like 3 days. And then I would leave and go back to my life. And I had those types of sort of caretakers in various parts around the city. So when I created these huge messes, I could go and just disappear. It was fucked up, right? It was fucked up, bro. I caused a lot of damage. Let me just tell you, like when it was time for me to make amends, I had a lot of amends to make, bro. dude, I spent like a year on my 9th step, man. Dude, crazy. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a good time. I'll be honest, guys. I'm glad to be alive. And like, you know, I grapple. Like, can I just tell you a quick story before we go into the politics? But so when I first moved to Portland, the bass player in my band, okay, I'm going to turn the music off for this. I first moved to Portland, the bass player in my band that I moved up here with, the song we were just listening to, Full Blown Red, he got a house. And I was living in my van outside his house and had some issues with the roommates. I got involved with a girl that lived there who was in an open relationship with another roommate. We hooked up. He moved out. Everybody hated me. But there was a girl who lived there who was like a super talented artist. She was like the nicest girl in the world. Like one of the nicest, most genuinely compassionate people I've ever met in my entire fucking life, bro. She was so good. Like, just like, oh my God, you're so good. Well, she becomes a successful artist, moves to New York, gets married. And her husband is young. He's 30s. He's dying of cancer, right? He's probably not going to live to the end of the year. And I'm like, why? Why does that happen to the nicest fucking person I've ever met in my life? Whereas me, I was a fucking degenerate piece of shit. Why am I still alive? You know what I'm saying? I was like so selfish, so like spun out. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, it's like so crazy how like we don't always get what we deserve. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like sometimes I look and I'm like, God damn, why am I still alive? Why, you know? Dude, I know a lot of people like that are like just the nicest people ever. And they have such tragedy in their life, you know? And I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Happened to one of my acting coaches too. She was this quirky woman, really great acting coach. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have met Jenny. Right? Like she talked me into taking the role where I met Jenny, and she fucking met the love of her life shortly after I stopped acting with her. And dude, and her fucking partner got Lou Gehrig's disease, and she watched him like emaciate to where he couldn't move. He like for like a year, man. I was like, God damn, bro, this amazing woman. She's like, you know, finally finds this guy that like completes her. And then she has to watch him fucking die over a span of like 2 years. Like, bro, I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't get it. Right? It's fucking, yeah, it's rough. It's rough, you know? But here we are. Still kicking. We're gonna make the most out of this though. All right? Dude, politically, dude, what do we got? So we got Donald Trump. Okay, we gotta look at fucking 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗀 because he's being a fucking weirdo, dude. Now he is starting to run his mouth, which I think is a little weird, right? With the 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗀, you guys may have noticed he's running his mouth now about Epstein. Now he Yeah, there's another good example, right, of somebody who, you know, probably doesn't deserve to be outside of a pine box, bro. Right? Hard to believe in karma? Yeah, but so Nicole, the thing about karma, though, the thing about karma is the American version of karma is not what karma really is. I mean, the Americanized version of karma is this idea that if you do good, good things will happen to you. But that's not what karma is. What karma is karma is the idea of simply always doing good. Okay? Karma means even if you get shredded and everybody uses you and harms you and hurts you and takes advantage of you and fucks you over, you continue to live with nothing but goodness and giving, okay? Because you're building up your karma for your next journey, right? That's what karma is. Karma is not about getting anything, okay? There's not even a guarantee you're going to get a good journey the next time, right? You may do all the goodness, die, be reincarnated, and have it even worse. And you still live with nothing but goodness. And you continue to build that karma until it actually like pays off for you. So the idea of karma, though, is not about receiving anything. It is actually a simple like buildup of goodwill to try and carry into the next existence. And so like the Americanized version of it is like you do good. Oh, I'm going to do good and good shit's going to happen to me. Right? Oh shit. Dude, Australia's getting ready to ban YouTube access. Well, that's interesting, Bradshaw, right? That's interesting that Australia, because YouTube, there was just a notice about how they're putting new teen controls. And so I wonder if that is why YouTube, because YouTube is adopting some new policies about teens with no targeted advertising and limiting the scope of their stuff. Australia's getting ready to ban it. I bet that is why YouTube is rolling this shit out. All right? Because, dude, we got to find a way to keep people out of the pipelines, man. The YouTube, the social media to red pill pipeline is crazy, bro. Dude. But yeah. So I will say this though, guys, because I'm a believer in the actual type of karma that like focusing on like developing and maintaining good integrity is of the utmost importance. But I will say this, though this is not karma related, there is an energy that like there is an energy of attraction, which means that like the people I know that walk around feeling like they're always oppressed or feeling like only bad things happen to them, they actually have nothing but bad things happen to them. And people who are always looking for the opportunity and looking for the goodness and looking for the hope or the joy are like find way more joy and really good shit happens to them. And I've seen that. It's not a karma thing. It's just kind of like whatever, you know, vibe you cultivate in your front yard is going to determine what type of guests come and hang out with you in your front yard. You know, what the fuck? So just manifest it. I mean, it's not a 1-to-1 because it's not a guaranteed, but what I think happens is this, is I think that you can, when you manifest and you set those types of intentions around like seeking hope and joy, what happens is, I think two things. I think sometimes you do draw an energy that like other people that are looking for that type of energy do find you. But I think the change is actually internal. I think what happens is when you practice manifesting, you start seeing goodness in the bad things, right? Because like, for example, I can be going through a horrible time of like low confidence where miserable, everything in my life is falling apart, everything is going wrong. And I can still find like, wow, this one thing that happened today is like the most joyous thing I've experienced. And it's not being toxic optimism, because I'm not disacknowledging all the pain I'm in. I am merely also acknowledging that I can be in pain and everything can be going wrong, and there's still joy in there, and there's still opportunity in there. And in fact, the more I focus on trying to stay aware of where the joy is and where I can be grateful, the more opportunity I find. Like, I don't find opportunity when I'm hopeless. I find opportunity when I'm feeling like there is opportunity to be found, right? But it's I think it's different than toxic optimism, though, because toxic optimism are where people pretend like they're doing great when everything is fucking falling apart, or they're right, or they're trying to talk themselves into things being good. You know what I mean? And this is different, though, because this is just it starts with a general feeling. You ready? It starts with a general feeling, that a belief that the universe is here to help me. Okay? That's like my honest belief is I believe the universe and that network of energy that I share with my fellow inhabitants here on Earth, I believe that the reason I am connected to that is because it's here to help me. So when everything's going wrong, and when everyone's out to get me, and when it feels like everything is crashing down on me, I still believe that there is opportunity and a door that's out there. Like, I just got to keep looking for it, right? I got to keep seeking, because the pain and the fucking, you know, the shit that's fucking like preying on me is that's just like a byproduct, right? That's just a byproduct of energy of the system. You know what I'm saying? The universe doesn't give a fuck about us. Yeah, see, I believe that the universe does give a fuck about me, and I give a fuck about the universe. Like, I give a fuck about that, like that shared energy, and it gives a fuck about me. I believe that, right? I mean, sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes it feels like the whole world is out to get me. But I still, like, I don't know. My core belief is that I'm not here to suffer and do poorly. I'm here to succeed and to get the things that I want. And the universe is here to help me do that. And so I look at, you know, I just look at even my opponents, you know what I'm saying? Even my opponents, I look for, like, I don't know. I look for the benefits, right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But again, it's not a one-to-one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just it. Like, it's not a one-to-one thing. Like, I've had times in my life where for like 2 years, I've had nothing but struggle and failure and dejectedness. But during that whole 2 years, I spent every minute of that 2 years like looking for every opportunity I could and trying every opportunity that came my way and experiencing joy and heartbreak and fucking finding shit to be grateful from, even when I'm just fucking feeling like I'm on my last leg, and maintaining that thing of knowing that eventually one of those doors that pops up that I walk through is going to take me somewhere better than there. And then eventually I always find that door and like things get better. Right. And I don't know why. I just choose, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? But again, Natalie, you're like one-to-oneing it. You're saying, so it takes 2 years. It's like, no, it's not about X amount of time. Right? You can go through a down spell that's a month, a day, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people lose a child and they may have a 20-year healing process. But the question is, after they lose that child, do they turn black and just like live the rest of their life in abject negativity? Or do they look at the fucking energy around them and plug into it? It is, yeah, see, for me, it is the universe though, right? It is the universe because I feel connected to everybody, right? I do. I feel the world's pain. I absolutely do. I feel pain that's not just mine. That's from other people that are connected to the whatever, the web. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. Like, I don't know. If you study Vipassana, you know what I talk about. Like the Buddha talked about it, that like, it's like an energy flow that kind of like goes over our bodies that has two components, either craving and aversion. And that energy flow though is like, it's like shared, right? Which is why, you know, if there's bombs blowing up over in Ukraine or Gaza, it's like we're all getting terrorized by that. We're all tapped into that. You can't have people dying across the earth and suffering and have us not all suffering in how I live in the world. I fucking believe it, man. I believe this is the thing that people mistake for God, right? I think they mistake that for God. But when you have a religion and a concept of God, they tell you that there's a ruler that controls that shit. But in my world, that energy, there's no ruler. It's like we share it, which is why you try to find a harmonious way to interact with it. And you try to, like, I try to put energy into it. You know what I'm saying? I try to put energy out into the world where I will take the pain of the world and I'll channel it through art and music or creativity or whatever. And I try to turn it into something that breeds hope. You know what I mean? I take like depression and dejectedness and I feel it and I let it wash over me and overwhelm me to where I just feel like I'm being crushed by it. And then I try to put it into art that then I can put it out in the world and other people will digest it as hope. Because some people can't interface with that negativity like that. I mean, we all have different ways of interacting, right? You know? But it feels to me like very real. I know when I talk about my son, when I talk about this with my son, he's like, Dad, you're full of shit. You're trying to convince me of your religion is what he says. Dude, you go into nature to recalibrate. See, my recalibration happens at the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Mine happens at the ocean. Not so much out in the woods. The woods are okay. For me, it's the ocean though. I get near the ocean and there is something about the endlessness of the ocean that I get near the ocean and it just like heals me, right? Jenny and I go twice a year minimum, right? And when I lived in LA in my 20s, I used to surf every day and the ocean's just like, dude, it's just my spot, man. It's weird too. You ready? You ready for something crazy? Check this out. So when I am in my day-to-day life, I am always cold, okay? I sit in my room with 2 computers and I keep my door shut. I keep the heat in here. I like it like 78 degrees. I'm always cold. I'm always bundled up. When I go to the ocean, I can walk around outside and it can be 50 degrees. No jacket. If I'm by the ocean, I never get cold. Like my entire body, how I interact with the natural environment when I go to the ocean, it switches. Dude, Jenny is like freaked out by it. It's like I go to the ocean and like the fucking energy of the ocean like fucking makes me not need warmth anymore, right? And when I'm away from the ocean, I am like always cold, especially if I'm doing creative work. I get like twice as cold. It's like so weird. Dude, it's so weird. Does the ocean produce negative ions? That's interesting. I don't know what it is, but man, dude, I go to the ocean and I'm just fucking crazy. But yeah, you know, gaming produces a lot of heat. Computers produce a lot of heat. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. See, what's really weird about it is what I experienced when I went to the Vipassana meditation retreat. Okay, because Vipassana, you go to the retreat, and so for 10 days, there's no talking, there's no eye contact, right? No talking, no eye contact for 10 straight days, okay? No cell phones, no nothing. You meditate like 14 hours a day, you eat like hand-prepared vegan meals, and you walk in between meditation sessions, and that's it. That's all you do for 10 straight days, no talking. And so what happens though, you ready for this, is it was mind-blowing, because when you don't talk to people and when you don't look at people and get eye contact, you stop judging people. And what you realize when you don't talk or you don't look at people, you realize that your entire self-image in the regular world is based on you looking at other people and judging yourself in relation to them. I'm better than them. I'm better than them. I'm less than them. I'm kind of less than them. Oh, I'm way less than them. Like, our ego is based on how we judge people through communicating with them and or looking at them. And then what's crazy is when you don't talk. When I was at this meditation retreat with like 50 men and we didn't talk and we didn't look at each other for 10 days, I never felt closer to my fucking fellow human beings. Like, the final day when we all started talking to one another again, I felt like I loved them and felt so deeply connected to them. I was so not lonely. For the first time in my life, I was not lonely when I shared a space with 50 other men without ever looking at them or talking to them. It was amazing. And it's like when you realize, oh my God, we live much of our existence stuck in our own prisons of judgment. And it's really freeing. I'm telling you, if you can, let me fucking put the link in here. If you can ever get away, the center, it's 𝗲𝗲.org. Dude, you find a center near you. It's free, guys. 10 days. You find a center near you. It is 10 days. It is 100% free. Okay? They have centers all over the country. There's one here in just north of Portland in a small town called Onalaska. Yeah, so what it is they have Dhamma like halls. There are these great halls. The men stay segregated from the women, and you're on different sides, and you have a room that you share with somebody, right? And it's 10 days. You get room and board. You get all the meals. Your whole stay is free. And then at the very end, you donate. And you donate whatever you want to donate at the end of it. Okay? You can donate $10,000. You can donate $10. It does not matter. They don't care. It's like, it is completely supported by people's donations only. But it's rigorous. I mean, by day 7, you lose your fucking mind. Okay? You do. Like, a lot of people leave in the middle of it. They're just like, I can't do it. It is rigorous. And it is really fucking like intense. But I'm telling you, it is here's the website. I put the link in chat. It is, they have the courses and they have the locations. It's worldwide. Okay. And it is incredible. So what you do is you go and for 10 days, you learn the technique. You learn Vipassana meditation. And Vipassana meditation is insight meditation. It's the kind of meditation the Buddha did, okay? And it is like, it's fucking life-changing, man. It's when I really came to terms with my massive ego and how to like have a relationship with my ego that was less self-destructive. Because guys, I have a huge ego, and there's nothing wrong with having a huge ego. It's really important if you want to do like, outrageously large things with your life, or you want to have a big impact on the world. Having a massive ego is really useful, right? But it's like learning how to have a massive ego and how to use it without being self-destructive and destroying everyone around you is I guess the life's work. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a lot of ego to believe I can do this crazy thing. But then you don't want to become overwhelmed by it, you know, and Vipassana was how I changed that cycle, right? It's how I changed that cycle, you know, was first I had to realize it. Like I didn't think I had an ego problem. And essentially with me, I tried to go there and be the greatest meditator. And then once a day, you have like 5 minutes where you can go meet with the instructor and you can talk to the instructor and he like told me off. He was like, you're not even doing Vipassana. Like, what is wrong with you? Like he fucking laid into me, bro. This is on like day 6 too, when I thought I was like the king of meditation. And he basically told me that I was fucking dog shit and just like read me the riot act. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. This guy, he was so harsh. Dude, he like fucked me up, dude. Oh, it was like a bad trip. But it was necessary. You know what I'm saying? It needed to happen. Dude. He is good. He's like, I mean, I don't think I could have heard that from anybody else. Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, it's good shit. But like, yeah, insight meditation is wild though, because I don't know, man, those sensations that I was talking about, the craving and aversion, like you can see it, right? You can like, you get to a place where you can see the fucking like desire and fear like moving on you. You know what I'm saying? You can see it, that like our fear and desire is just energy that is like flowing over our body. And to some degree, we don't have to react. Somebody said earlier, the difference between reacting and responding, right? And there's a huge difference in that, okay? Like responding has intention behind it. And reaction is like more like a fleeing type of energy. And like most people, we go through our entire lives just reacting. And we never even get a chance to respond, because you don't get a chance. You can't really respond until you really develop a relationship with mindfulness. You know what I mean? And like, it's like really learning the difference between those two is really fucking, it's big. You know, it's big. There's a lot of growth if you can get from the reacting to responding. And I mean, it's not perfect, because even when you become a responder, you'll still react sometimes, you know, because, I mean, we're human, but, you know, even then, you know, you develop the ability to notice when you're reacting and to start responding in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's just really good. Yeah, you like that burp in the middle? All right, let's do some politics. Enough about that. The reason why I'm going on this long talk is obviously I'm going through a lot of big life changes. You know what I'm saying? We're going through some big changes. Today was a huge milestone, guys. You may or may not have seen this, but like 50K, guys. Look at this shit, bro. Right? We hit 50K today, guys. Look at that. Oh, right? This is a big one. Look at that. Dude, we were at 50,010 7 hours ago. All right, now we're at 50,162. But like, dude, we're halfway to the plaque. And 5% of the way to 1 million. Dude, we're 5% of the way there, guys. Right? Isn't that crazy? 15 months. Dude, this is nuts. Dude, this is fucking nuts. To have this happen in 15 months is crazy. And it was like, I didn't have any like crazy fame thing happen. You know what I mean? Like I grew a YouTube for gaming over a 2-year period like this, but I had this super viral like thing, right? It was like a virality. This has been, you know, just building video after video after video of like just showing up and making content. No big viral, right? We've had a couple videos that have popped a little bit, but no giant viral moment. You know what I mean? This has been just a slow, steady building. You know, I mean, I will say this. I'm really glad for the gaming thing because I feel like I got a trial run at fame and blowing up, which was nice to have. It was nice to have that in a vocation that I didn't really want, so I could learn like the good moves and the bad moves. But I'm real proud of this, guys, you know, because the whole time I was gaming, like I knew that what I was building was about the game. It was about me, but it was really about the game. Okay, the game was this viral thing, and people liked me playing the game. But like this is like people like this because of like the shit I'm talking about, because of my worldview and because of the climate I'm trying to create. It's like I don't know, it feels a lot more me, you know, and the comments are so good. Dude, I've never had like the comments today in particular. There were so many good comments of people, and one of them was funny, right? Dude, one of them was funny because one of them said, dude, can I show you this one comment, guys? Oh my God, this is like the greatest comment I think I've ever seen. But I gotta show you this one, dude. Oh, so good. But a lot of people today were saying like, wow, you have great analysis, or like, I love the fucking work you're doing. But this guy said, let me find it. This guy was so good. Oh, best comment. Oh, yeah, you ready? Look at this. Here it is. This guy said, it seems crazy that I get the most accurate information from someone that looks like Pee-wee Herman's uncle. So thanks, Uncle Punk. Dude, isn't that hilarious? Dude, that is the fucking, like, the greatest comment ever. It seems crazy that I get the most accurate information from someone that looks like Pee-wee Herman's uncle. Dude, I read that and I'm like, holy shit, bro. I had to fucking screenshot that. That shit is wild. Oh, fuck, dude. Fucking love it. Love it. Uncle Punky. But yeah, no, today's a big day, dude. We did it. We did it. We did it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for fucking being here. We appreciate you. All right. So first things first, guys. You ready? You ready? First things first. Can I just say that, like, dude, look at this. You ready? Dude, look at the tits on fucking Don Jr., bro. Holy criminy. Bro, he's like Bob from fucking Fight Club, dude. Right? His name is Robert Paulson. Dude. Oh, shit. Look at that. Oh, Lord, dude. Don't make you look at that, Natalie. I know it's hard, but we have to. Oh, Lord, isn't that funny? Dude, that's what I said. I was like, nice tits. Dude. Although I will say this, Don Jr., you ready? I am not going to sign up for the OnlyFans. I'm sorry, bro. Right? Dude, what a fucking, right? What a clown, bro. I mean, we all get moobs a little bit when we're older, but he is totally sucking in his stomach, dude. He is absolutely pinning that stomach. Dude, frankly, you know what it is? I think it's all the whining, dude. I think Don Jr. does so much crybabying, belly aching, you know, white Christian oppression that he just has developed fucking mitts, dude. Right? Man tits. But there we go. All right, so let's go. Natalie put a link to the Donald Trump thing. Let me find it, right? Or did I copy it? No, I did not. I want to watch Trump on his plane, dude. So Trump is talking now, and he's giving out, dude, he's giving out like conflicting information, all right? We are about to see this. All right, we're about to see Trumpy here start talking about fucking Epstein. Okay, now we know that Trump did. Thank you, Natalie. We know that fucking Trump mentioned some shit about Virginia Giuffre today. Okay, and like just as a reminder, so Virginia Roberts Giuffre, her dad worked at Mar-a-Lago. Okay, her dad was a maintenance man. And then his daughter, Virginia, she got a job there when she was like 14. Now, he had her working in the spa, which I still think is a little weird. I don't know why you need 14-year-old girls working in the spa, right? The spa feels like an adult place. It just does. There's a lot of, I don't know, man, spa vibes. I've been to many spas. I go and get massages every time we go to fancy hotels or resort types things. It's not a place for fucking teenagers to be working, I don't think. But of course, Trump had the 14-year-old girls working in the spa, which is just a little weird, I think. Okay? It's just a fucking, they don't have the fucking healing. You know what I mean? They're not healers at 14. They're like, they should be coat check girls or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Working, there's so many other jobs to have. But anyway, so Virginia was working in the spa, and that's where Ghislaine Maxwell discovered her. Now, Virginia, she got pulled by Jeffrey Epstein. She got snagged by him in 2000. Okay, Donald Trump didn't excommunicate Jeffrey Epstein until 2004. And Jeffrey Epstein was supposedly still a paid member of Mar-a-Lago until 2007. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And so that is a very, right? The timeline is really mushy. You know what I'm saying? You think you have to be 16 legally? It depends on the place. This is Florida. And I know Florida, they let people work young. And I don't know, I don't know how Mar-a-Lago did it. You know what I'm saying? She was not a massage therapist. No, she was just a spa attendant, okay? And she was a spa attendant, and she was reading a book about massage, but she was not a massage therapist. Let's watch Virginia talk about Maxwell. All right, here we go, talking about Ghislaine. Ghislaine, I'm telling you right now, guys, you ready? Let me just tell you that in my research, Ghislaine is the network, okay? Even with Jeffrey Epstein, I believe that Jeffrey Epstein only got connected because of Ghislaine, right? That's what I think, right? I think Jeffrey Epstein only got I think it was Ghislaine that had all the connections. Okay. And I think Jeffrey, he was definitely riding on her coattails. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, here she is.
She is a monster. She's worse than Epstein. She did things even worse than Epstein did. She was vicious. She was evil. And she was a woman.
Her lawyers have said Ghislaine Maxwell is not a Jeffrey Epstein, that she has been a victim of media spin.
They're doing their job, but
not true.
I know that woman. I've known her really well. Put it this way. Epstein was Pinocchio, and she was Geppetto. She was the guy controlling
the strings.
Jeffrey. Yep, she was pulling the strings. She had his money. He had her contacts. But Ghislaine was much more conniving and smart than Epstein ever was.
Yeah, I see that too. That Ghislaine's she was the strategist, the conniver, the person with all the connections. She was the one who had access to the power, right? Like through her dad. Her dad had a mega fucking yacht. She was very sharp, very calculating, and she was the one who had the hands on the levers of power. Okay? Epstein was like a joy boy. Okay? He was like a lovable character, right? And you know, he had access to a ton of money, but he was like just a quirky little fucking joy boy. And Ghislaine Maxwell was definitely the brains and the fucking the tenacity of that outfit. You know, she was the one with the levers of power, and Epstein was just flitting around, you know, fucking as like a little hedonist. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, dude, and it's weird because right? Because I really think, like, I know it's outrageous. When she first went to jail, guys, I was livid. I was like, of course, in patriarchy, the woman goes to jail and the guy who executed all this shit, like, gets off, right? Of course, he ended up dead. But the thing, though, right, is like, I think she was actually I think she was the ringleader. You know what I'm saying? I think she was actually the ringleader, and Jeffrey was like her fucking useful idiot. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do think she was the ringleader, though. And if you talk to some of the victims, she definitely was molesting these girls as well. She was fully on, you know what I'm saying? She was fully involved in you know, the sexual exploits as well. You know, she was freaky.
She is a monster.
Yeah. All right. So now let's see what Trump said today.
President, you said yesterday your falling out with Jeffrey Epstein was over him taking some of the workers from your business. But your administration in the past said that you threw him out because he was a creep. So can you explain that discrepancy?
Well, maybe they're the same thing. You know, it's sort of a little bit of the same thing.
Maybe they're the same thing, right? Maybe they're the same thing. Do you see that? Like, this guy, dude, do you see how this guy is like, he is all over the map, dude. He is just like lying, can't tell the truth. He's changing his tune every 2 seconds. His story keeps changing. I mean, obviously, if he's not in those things, just release him. Oh, no, he can't release him because Obama was scribbling in the book a bunch of fake shit. But, like, let's get the victims on there. Dude, anything that's in that FBI file has been verified by an agent, a victim, some data. They have receipts. Nothing ends up in that shit that didn't come from them talking to someone or receipts that they fucking have.
But no, he took people that worked for me, and I told him don't do it anymore, and he did it. And I said, stay the hell out of here.
Epstein has a certain reputation, obviously. Just curious, were some of the workers that were taken from you, were some of them young women?
With some of them.
Were some of them young women?
Well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken, and it was the concept of taking people that work for me is bad, but that story's been pretty well out there, and the answer is yes, they were.
So what's funny, though, is think about the ramifications of this outside of him. You ready? So think about the ramifications of this. This guy, he's like, oh, they were taken, and I told him to stop taking my workers, but like, so Trump is essentially saying he knew that Jeffrey Epstein was taking young girls from his club and putting them in the sex trade, right? And he's like, don't come around Mar-a-Lago anymore. The problem was the taking, right? I mean, think about that. Even if he wasn't having sex with children, dude, if I find out my neighbor's taking young girls into the sex trade, my neighbor's going to prison, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to just stay away from me.
Yeah,
What did they do?
in the
Like,
spa.
What kind of jobs? In the spa.
Yeah, it's people that work in the spa. I have a great spa, one of the best spas in the world at Mar-a-Lago. And people were taken out of the spa, hired by him. In other words, gone. And other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people. And he was fine. And then not too long after that, he did it again. And I said, out of here.
Mr. President, did one of those stolen, persons, that include Virginia Jeffrey?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people, yeah. He stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us, as you know. None whatsoever.
Yeah, so look at that. You see that, though? Let's just parse what he said here, because he's like, I think so. I think it was Virginia. But yeah, I think it may have been her. I'm not sure. But she said she had no problems with us. So he knows exactly who Virginia is. He knows enough to mention how Virginia exonerated him and said, yeah, Trump never did anything sexual with Virginia. So he knows goddamn well who Virginia is and her entire story. But he pretends like, oh, never really heard of her. I don't know. But, oh, by the way, she totally exonerated me after this whole thing, right? You see that shit? That is such obvious fucking guilt. Obvious fucking lying. He didn't even realize, homie, you literally are just outing yourself as a fucking liar and a degenerate here. Because clearly, you know goddamn well who Virginia is because you literally just used her as a character witness. Right? Oh, who's that? Who? Virginia? I don't know if I heard of her. Oh, by the way, she vouches for me. What a fucking idiot, bro. Dude, he's not a good crook. You know what I'm saying? He's not a good crook. He is a terrible fucking crook. But man, that shit is wild. Okay? That shit is wild. Dude, do we have any other comments from him? Right? What else do we have from him? Now, again, I do want to say something because I saw somebody, okay? Dude, I can't believe 𝗙𝗻𝗋𝗶𝗹𝗀 got fucking, right? I can't believe 𝗙𝗻𝗋𝗶𝗹𝗀 got confirmed. That guy is so toxic. But I saw somebody today while we're talking about this shit, where this guy, look at this guy. Okay, this guy said the inconvenience for the Democrats here is that Virginia fully absolved President Trump and said that he didn't do any wrongdoing whatsoever. Keep making up your BS, though. It's not playing out in the way you expected. But I'm like, dude, just because he didn't touch Virginia does not mean he didn't fuck around with many other girls, right? You know what I'm saying? There are so many victims, and there have been many victims who have outed Trump personally. Maria Farmer, fucking Katie Johnson, a couple of Jane Does, right? Then that's in addition to the adult women who've held them accountable for sexual assault. Okay. And then there's young girls from the Miss Teen USA pageant who have called him out. I mean, there's been extensive people who said they have been victimized by him. So I thought that was pretty funny, though, how that one guy's reasoning was oh, Virginia absolved him. So therefore, he's clean. It's bro, come on, man. These people are stretching. Okay, they are stretching. Now, what's really noticeable about this, though, okay, what is, is what's really noticeable. I like some of these comments, okay? This is, you know, Trump having thousands of employees worldwide and somehow knowing the name of one 16-year-old girl at a spa and being angry enough about her specifically being poached by Epstein to say he cut ties with him for it is surely very normal and means nothing. But dude, there's something wrong because again, Virginia Giuffre got poached in 2000, okay? The Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump shit happened in 2004. Okay, so something, you know what I'm saying? Something went fucking down. Now, what is this? What is this thing?
Mr. President, Epstein has a certain reputation, obviously. I'm just curious, were some of the workers that were taken from you, were some of them young women?
Were some of them young women?
Oh, this is, yeah, that's the same thing. That's the same fucking audio. All right. Now here, though, here's some interesting shit, dude. Here, you ready? Let's watch this, because Epstein was supposedly still a paid member through 2007. Okay, so let's look at some of this here. Yeah, you like that? Well, I don't want to say, but I will say, and oh, I don't really know who this is, but oh, she exonerated me. Right? Oh, shit. Yeah, so L, to answer your question, the crazy thing, all this info was out there before. So the Dems did point it out, L, but prior to this, MAGA was convinced that this was the Democrats were just lying about the Epstein shit, that it was only them in it, okay? And then Trump lost to Biden. And then all for years, the entire Biden years, the Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and all the right-wing influencers used the Epstein list as like the foundational element of their Democrats and Hollywood are pedophiles, the LGBTQ pedo cult, right? So they have been living off this, that now Trump's back in the White House and they're getting their revenge. They're going to out the cult. For years, they've been stewing on this. They've kind of been groomed, really, by Bongino and Posobiec and Cernovich and fucking Charlie Kirk. They have, and Benny Johnson, they have been groomed for 5 years to like get their revenge on the Democrats. And now Trump is like, can't do it. And it's like, it's kind of blowing up their heads, right? And yeah, the thing about it is Joe Biden didn't weaponize the DOJ at all. Okay, he didn't. And I'll be honest though. I'll be honest. I don't think Joe Biden was going to make a huge deal of it because, you know, I think we know Bill Clinton's in there, and so I think that you know, I think that fucking Joe Biden, it was not his primary concern. You know what I mean? Joe is definitely weak. He's 80, bro. He's so old. And Garland, dude, talk about being a gutless fucking turd, dude. Merrick Garland is just, dude, that guy's a chicken shit, bro. But yeah, you missed the right-wing propaganda. You know, that makes sense. If you're not in the bubble, like if you're not following those fucking dickheads, you know, I kind of watched, I didn't watch his program, but I sort of stalked Dan Bongino. He was like the first guy to block me on social media. So I was always watching like what him and Cernovich. I didn't like those guys because they were rape culture guys. So I think I always monitor the male rape culture people. And that's kind of how I watched that shit unravel. Right. And yeah, Joe Biden also was not going to, Joe Biden didn't, like, the president doesn't weaponize the DOJ, guys. Okay? In a normal presidential administration, the president does not call the DOJ and say, hey, go prosecute this case. Doesn't work like that. Dude, the president appoints a DOJ and then they don't fucking talk to him for 4 fucking years. That's how it goes. You appoint them, and the only time you talk to them is if their work is immediately going to be impacting your president. Otherwise, you literally don't even have a conversation with them. Okay? You know what I mean? You don't. You just don't talk to them. It's the Department of Justice. They're like your watchdog. The only time you really talk to them is if they're investigating you, right? And so Trump, though, his DOJ is literally his little bully pulpit, you know? You know what I mean? And no, the head of the DOJ, well, so technically the head of the DOJ isn't the personal attorney, but the deputy AG, Todd Blanche, was his personal attorney. And no, I don't think there's ever been a high-ranking DOJ official that was the president's personal fucking lawyer, right? Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Dude, it's insane. It's insane. Let's watch this, though. I'm really curious about this guy's analysis here, looking at the inconsistencies in Trump's story.
And research shows from investigative reporting from the Miami Herald that Jeffrey Epstein was actually still on the Mar-a-Lago membership logs up to 2007. Okay, so Trump was still getting money from Jeffrey Epstein up till 2007. Jeffrey Epstein was still paying for his membership at Mar-a-Lago, according to the Miami Herald. And that, of course, is a year after Jeffrey Epstein's arrest in Florida in 2006. So despite...
So if he kicked him out for being a creep...
Yes.
That would have even been a year after that would have been...
But they kept taking that money!
Correct. And there's been other... And research...
So, yeah, so there's that, okay? There's the Miami Herald piece. We found out all about that, okay? It's a big fucking article about this shit. The Miami Herald actually did some really great fucking... really great work on this, the Grifters Club, okay? He was a member for a time... closed in October 2007. Now, mostly he wasn't a member, okay? Mostly he was not a member. He was just there as a Ghislaine hanger-on, okay? And what does it say here? It says Trump prohibited him from visiting the club after 2007, a year after he got busted, okay? Dude, there's Trump and the guy who let Epstein off, of course. Dude, it's crazy, bro. Shit is nuts. But yeah, dude, this shit all got litigated. It's kind of interesting, though, right? Because what Elle was talking about was how MAGA was never rabid about this, right? Now MAGA is super rabid. You know what I'm saying? Like MAGA is like really rabid about this information, about this situation, right? And I mean, I get it. I think I understand why, because when you think about it, their whole thing was like, this is the Democrats' downfall. And now President Trump has complete control over the entire thing, and he's not releasing it. So they know that either Trump is in it or Trump is covering for the people who's in it. And if Trump is covering for the people who are in it, then Trump is just like everybody else in the deep state, you know? And so that's really the whole thing. I keep having people say, why weren't you this adamant about it during Biden's administration? It's like, I don't care. I'm adamant about it now, okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm adamant about it now. So let's fucking release it. But yeah, he's on the plane. Look at that. He's on that plane, baby. And you see with like J.E., Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. We don't know who some of these others people are. Paula Epstein, Trump, somebody else, like scrawled fucking plane logs. Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, Trump's behavior definitely makes this suspicious. Okay, this is the Michael Wolff clip here?
But at any rate,
all right. And I mean, we've seen this clip right here.
At any rate, at one point after Trump had been elected, I was sitting talking to Epstein, and he said, "Wait a minute, I got to show you something." And then he went into his safe, and he came out with photographs. They were Polaroids, I think, and he kind of spread them out like playing cards, and it was Trump. I mean, I think there were a dozen of them, and it was Trump with girls of an uncertain age at Epstein's Palm Beach house, where all of the things that he would ultimately be accused of took place. And I remember very vividly 3 of them. There are 2 in which Trump is, the girls, topless girls, are sitting on Trump's lap. And then a 3rd in which he has a stain on the front of his pants. And the girls are kind of pointing at it, sort of bent over, laughing, covering
their mouths.
Yeah, exactly. And pointing, 3 or 4 girls. And those are the ones I specifically remember. And my assumption is that they were in the safe, and I have seen them on other occasions take them out of the safe. And I think it's certainly not unlikely that they were in the safe when the FBI came in after his arrest and took everything from the house, including everything that was in the safe.
Now, dude, if those pictures, if they exist, the FBI has them. And that may be some of the shit that, right? I mean, think about it. That would explain Trump's freak out, right? If he discovered that, yeah, not only are you in there, but there's some Polaroids of you and a bunch of teen girls topless. That would be a huge deal. Now, here's the thing, though, guys. At this point, is I see you in chat saying, like, he'll get away with it. And most likely, yes, these men are going to get away with it. But I don't think that's the issue right now. I don't think the issue is him getting away with it or not getting away with it. I think the issue is the political cataclysm it could cause for the Republican Party. Like, the Republican Party is already in a weird spot where they're losing their most charismatic member. He's aging rapidly, and he's going to continue aging rapidly, and they don't really have a good replacement, and they've gone all in such a way as, like, they don't have any leaders, right? There's like no leaders in the Republican Party because they've all sort of acquiesced their leadership in order to create this fealty for Donald Trump, right? And so they are completely rudderless when he ages out. And so if he tarnishes his, like he's had this Svengali like power to just, control the hearts and minds of these people with no question whatsoever. And so if that loses like 5% of its like foundation, that's going to be a huge fucking problem for them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's going to be a huge, huge problem, right? You know what I mean? Like the cult finding out that their leader is, all I can compare it to, guys, is Jimmy Swaggart. Do you know who Jimmy Swaggart is? Okay, Jimmy Swaggart was one of the televangelist preachers of the 70s and 80s. Okay, Jimmy Swaggart was like the first guy. Okay, he wasn't like Tammy Faye and Jim Baker. They were like a little crusty. Jimmy Swaggart was like passionate, man. He was like, he was the guy that was like, everybody thought Jimmy Swaggart. I had brothers that worshiped this fucking guy. Okay, this guy was fucking so, like he was like the epitome of the preachers. And all of the evangelical shit kind of revolved around Jimmy Swaggart being that guy. And then, dude, he got caught like fucking around with prostitutes. and he lied about it, and eventually he fucking came true, and then he did his whole like whatever begging for forgiveness. But I'm telling you guys, when that scandal rocked him, even though nothing happened to him, he didn't end up poor, people forgave him, but the fucking the magic, the revolution was like gone. Okay, it was gone. Like you know what I mean? Like he never recovered that original magic. He was always like, he still had a little bit of a devout following, but like everybody that was in the middle of that devout following was like, man, I just can't go back there. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the same thing that I think this is gonna fucking, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's gonna have an impact. It really is, dude. Jimmy Swaggart was such a phony. Oh my God, he was a scumbag, dude. Oh shit, he was such a phony. Yeah, dude. Jimmy Swaggart died 3 weeks ago? Good. Burn in hell, motherfucker. Did he die? Oh, he did, dude. July 1st. Yeah. See, this is what I remember him looking like. This was him, dude, right here. This was his fucking, oh my God, dude. Right there. That's him. That's the look, dude. This was his look. That back when my brother followed him. Dude, he was like a weird Conway Twitty of fucking televangelism. Oh my God, so smarmy though. These guys are so smarmy, these televangelists. Bro. Scoundrels. Fucking scoundrels, dude. He was the one. But man, he never recovered. Right? Falwell, yeah. Yeah, Falwell though, see the thing about Falwell though and Jim and Tammy Baker is they didn't have the charisma. Okay? See, Jimmy Swaggart was one of those guys where he was kind of like a rock star. He really was. I mean, he was a fucking degenerate and he was a fucking piece of shit, but he was like a rock star. He like had this fucking charisma on the stage that these other guys didn't have. You know what I mean? He just did. Like, let's see if we can find a fucking Jimmy Swaggart in his prime. Dude, right? Like, here he is, 1981, all right? You ready? Look at this shit.
Hebrews 12:1.
Dude, he does look like Conway Twitty, doesn't he?
Writings of the Apostle Paul.
Oh, God.
12th chapter.
Let's find
these children do not belong to this couple. They said, that's right. They tell me that they cannot have children of their own.
He's like one hand in the mic and shit.
Do you know why they cannot have children of their own? They must seek fulfillment and completion by enjoying the offspring of others.
That he was quite the orator, you know what I mean?
Stories, but I don't know. No one here knows except one man. An African that lives at the edge of the village. He is said to know. He's aged in years.
Dude, he's so smarmy, but he was like, dude, he was pretty smooth for the time, dude. And he'd get all passionate, right? And start fucking yelling and shit. Dude, yeah, no, he was fucking crazy. Look at this shit.
Of hell, and that
here he comes.
Bondage is there. But I'm here to tell you tonight that you can be free. This very message that is being preached to you, not only here, but by television, this word can set you free. While I'm preaching tonight, Satan has told you it's hopeless, it's no use, it cannot be, you've tried everything, it's gone on for years and years and years. But I'm here to tell you tonight, God knows about it. God can set you free. He can break the chain. You can be free from that bondage of hell and that bondage of darkness. That thing
See, what's weird about it too, guys, is now that I go back and look into that, is he gave people hope, man. Like there was a rough time. This is after the civil rights movement. This is after the gas lines and the Ayatollah and the fucking, you know, people were a little depressed coming out of the 60s and fucking OPEC was fucking around with gas prices and shit. And so we were sort of getting kicked around, and Reagan just got in there, and he was out there like preaching about freedom and fucking, you know, joy and all this shit. And like you're gonna get liberated from all this fucking bad shit in the world, man. And people fucking ate that shit up, dude. Oh my God, my brothers. I mean, I have a lot of really deeply religious people in my family. And my brothers were huge Swaggart fans, like huge, man.
Joshua was made free from it, the high priest. You can read about it in Zechariah.
Zechariah.
He was given a change of
He was
clothing,
given
for his
a
garments
change.
were filthy. That thing within his life caused this man that was a leader to be filthy in the eyes of
He's a
God.
great performer. Yeah, no, he's great.
But God changed him.
Because he just looks like he is scriptless. Like he's just inspired out there. You know what I mean?
You can be clean. Sin cannot have dominion over you if you believe it.
He's like, has these moods, these ups and downs.
Don't wait too late. You can wait too late. You can wait so late until
oh no,
the mercy of
Billy
God,
Graham?
even though it endureth forever, you have gone beyond its pale. You can wait too late until catastrophe and chaos overtakes you and you are destroyed. Some of you that sat in this audience tonight, maybe some of you that watch the television, that thing in your life has been there for years. And I want to tell you this, even though God will forgive you and have mercy and patience and love and long suffering with you, you will never know his fullness with that thing in your life. You will have to live off the offspring of others, as the vision was given to my friend.
Yeah, there we go. There's Jimmy, baby. Oh, shit, bro. Dude, the swagger. This shit takes me back, man.
A game of spiritual tiddlywinks.
Spiritual tiddlywinks.
Didn't spend much time.
Thank you, Swagger. His crying apology. I don't really want to see his apology. Fuck him, bro.
I want to.
Yeah, see, he doesn't look good at this point, right? He's fucking. Dude, there's no audio. He's giving us the Rittenhouse. Fuck him, bro. All right. But there we go. Yeah, that's a little tangent. Oh, shit, dude. How did we get to Jimmy Swaggart? Oh, Lord. Dude, speedballs? You think he's doing speedballs? Oh, fuck, bro. All right. All right, so we got fucking Don Jr.'s man tits. We got Trump and fucking Epstein raping young girls. And oh, no, I know how we got to Jimmy Swaggart. We got to Jimmy Swaggart because I was talking about how Swaggart never recovered that magic, right? That Swaggart had that buzz, and then once he lost it from the scandal, he could never regain the magic again. And I think Trump is going to do the same. Do we need a dance goal? Let's do it. Let's get a dance going. I'm going to do 30 minutes, though, because it's going to be a short night. Dude, we got to cover some shit. We'll see if we can finish with the dance goal. There we go. All right, there it is. Dance goal, dance goal. Dance party. All right, let's move on to, I want to see, dude, I want to see some of the fucking crystal ball shit. I may have to go an hour. I also want to see Anna and Cenk talking about Tucker. Anna's massive prediction from 2028. Yes. Can I see that? Let's start with the Anna one. All right. The cult will never leave Trump. Yeah, so Galatian, the thing about it is you're right. The cult will never leave Trump, but I don't think it's about leaving Trump. I think it's about the cult just losing their enthusiasm for the MAGA movement. So then they just become like voters trying to figure out if they should vote or not, right? That's there. Yeah, it's just they're going to lose their apathy for voting, right? That's it, right? Sowing the seeds of doubt, which will make the propaganda less effective in general, right? Those doubts mean every time they see propaganda, they might not believe it fully. And then the more they do that, the more disengaged they get. Because really, they've been so engaged because they believe that, oh, they're going to cut their kids' dicks off and they're fucking going to replace the white people. And they've actually believed this shit. But now they're fucking going to lose some steam. But all right, let's see Anna and Cenk here. Fucking.
I wanted to talk a little bit about my interview on Tucker Carlson's podcast. I know that you guys covered, I think, more substantive elements of it, and thank you for doing that. We're not going to do
substantive. Dude, yes, it was very substantive how you said, oh, you know, I used to think MAGA was racist. Oh, I was radicalized. I was radicalized to call you racist, even though you're fine, like, race-loving people. Dude, you're fine, like, N-word using people, but you're not racist.
Do that in this coverage, okay? Because I actually want to kind of get myself on record saying what I think is going to happen in 2028.
Oh, here we go.
Big
all
prediction.
Right.
So without further ado,
can't wait.
Let's get into it.
Let's see it.
I heard that speech, and by the time I finished listening to it, I thought to myself, he's going to run for president. That was a presidential speech.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that's literally the last thing on my mind.
Really?
Like, I would never do that.
I asked Tucker Carlson a question he didn't expect while I appeared on his podcast, and I thought his full answer was, well, interesting. What about you, Cenk?
Yeah, I don't believe him. So it's okay. Look, guys, I'm, as now most of the internet knows, I'm not on the camp of purity tests, and so the fact that Tucker Carlson.
Dude, wait, let's pause that. Because Cenk Uygur, you're not in the camp of purity tests, except when you're purity testing people on the left. Because Cenk Uygur loves the purity test, right? I mean, dude, Jordan Uhl, Palestine, purity test. Sam Cedar, purity test. Franny, purity test, right? Shanky Uygur loves the purity test. He just only applies it to the left. The people on the right get a like, oh, yeah, you said the N-word and beheaded some LGBTQ people. Oh, but you say you like populism. Oh, shit. Oh, let's fucking get together and have some beers. Fucking watch some snuff films or whatever. Right? Dude, like, what is his fucking malfunction, bro? Seriously. Dude.
What about you, Cenk?
Yeah, I don't believe him. So it's okay. Look, guys, I'm, as now most of the internet knows, I'm not on the camp of purity tests, and so the fact that Tucker Carlson has a correct position on Israel is wonderful. And the speech that Anna was referring to, some parts of it I disagreed with, but the part about Israel was not only true, but important. Somebody needed on the right wing to say what he said, right? Like, enough. Nobody's interested in hating Jews. I don't know why people are talking about that. Rogan says the same thing. I don't know why people even bring that up. This has nothing to do with that. It's a foreign government, and they do have a lock on our government. They do, right? So that is super important for the left and right to unite on that. Doesn't mean we agree with everything Tucker says, not even close. Same thing for him to us, right? But now when you get into like, yes, but how do things shape out in 2028? No, I've been telling you guys on the show, so you're not going to be surprised by this. I think Tucker's going to run. I think Tucker's has been, let's put it this way. If he is not angling to run, he is accidentally going on the exact path you would go on to run in 2028.
Totally agree with you. And in fact, when I say that the speech he gave at Turning Point USA sounded like a presidential speech, it wasn't just what he had to say about Israel or foreign policy. Take the whole speech and the entire message in that speech, which was Americans cannot afford to have children. They can't afford to buy homes. Why is invading Iran or going to war with Iran the priority here? This shouldn't be the priority. So a lot of people hyper focus on what he had to say about Israel because of the fact that he said what is incredibly provocative in the context of a conservative conference. But
see, here's the deal: is like, I'll go on the record and say, like, the support of Israel and the fact that are constantly fighting a proxy war in the Middle East is like super fucking problematic, right? And needs to go. But to act like the money we've given to Israel is the reason why we can't live here is such fucking bullshit, okay? I mean, we've given Israel a lot of money, and sure, stop funding that proxy war and fuck the fucking genocide and all that bullshit and just put Israel on notice. But to act like we can't live here because of the Israel money? Come on, man, we're 36 trillion in fucking debt, bro. We are literally, like, we keep giving free money to the wealthiest people. Hedge funds control this fucking country. They're buying up all the goddamn real estate. They want to buy up all the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, bro? It's like the money to Israel and the money to Ukraine have nothing to do with us not being able to afford living here. Okay, I take issue with that idea because they're trying to sort of fuse that. And that's fucking bullshit, okay? That's fucking bullshit because it's really like the hedge funds and the incessant, constant, like, upflow of the wealth to the tiniest group of people up at the top of the pyramid that's fucking killing us all. And you know what I mean? And so that is like outrageous of them to be talking like that. Like, oh, this foreign aid is why we can't afford to live. And yeah, what Natalie said, the fact that they're literally on the Progressive News Network, okay? They are fucking like having a show here about Tucker running for president, and they seem kind of excited about it. What fucking timeline are we living in? You know what I'm saying? Hello? Why are they fucking sitting here entertaining like, oh, we agree with Tucker on something, and oh, you think he's gonna run for president? Like, they should be eviscerating him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing, bro? Jesus Christ.
If you take his whole speech, the message was about we need to focus on the American people, the economic situation here.
Oh yeah, America first, right, Anna? America first. Oh shit, we got to focus on the economic system here. Oh yeah, let's give away some tax cuts. What are you and Jen gonna do with your tax cut, Anna? You fucking scoundrel. What the fuck, bro?
It's brutal for us. And I agree with him on that message. Now, let's give you the exchange I had with Tucker with more context so you get a sense of what I'm talking about. Take a look.
I heard that speech, and by the time I finished listening to it, I thought to myself, he's going to run for president. That was a presidential speech.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that's literally the last thing on my mind.
Really?
Like, I would never do that. No, I mean, unless I was like told by a higher power or something. But no, I don't think I'm suited for that.
Told by a higher power. If Jesus himself comes down and fondles the nuggets and says, Tucker, let me rub your balls. You must run for president. Dude, look at how she's like blowing sunshine up his ass. She's kind of in a weird way, like encouraging him. Ooh, that was such a presidential speech. Like, ooh, this is weird, dude. This is weird to fucking be witnessing right now.
But of course, I don't want that. I have a lot of happiness and balance in my life. I have a huge family. I'm the oldest male in that family, so I feel like I have a lot of things I'm paying attention to. I have dogs who I really love. So no, like nothing about that is appealing at all. And I've never had any political ambition of any kind, and I have even less now.
So maybe,
dude, she is doing some serious meat riding, dude. Like we're talking a ribeye on a bicycle, dude. Some serious fucking meat riding is happening right now.
You guys can all critique me for my selective hearing, but I only heard one part in his answer, and this is the part I'm referring to.
No, I mean, unless I was like told by a higher power or something.
He's going to run for president, Cenk. He's going to run for president. It's so obvious to me. He is. He's going to do it.
So look, he these days he's very focused on his faith, and so that is the kind of thing that somebody who is going to run later would say, right? So again, we don't know. We're all guessing, right? And we're honest about what we know and what we're guessing at, right? And
dude, they seem more excited about Tucker Carlson than Gavin Newsom, right? Oh shit, bro. Dude, they're excited for Tucker fucking Carlson. What the fuck is going on? They're selling Tucker Carlson to a progressive audience. Dude, kill me fucking now, bro. Dude, both of them need to be ejected from the train, guys. This is pure insanity. Pure insanity.
So, and then I want to talk in a little bit about his potential competition on the Republican side and then the Democratic side. But look, as an atheist, I don't get that out of like, well, if God tells me like.
Oh, as an atheist? What do you mean? I thought you were a Muslim, Cenk. Right? Now Cenk is an atheist, guys. Like, whoa, I thought you were a Muslim. He's normally, as a Muslim, I'm so oppressed. I'm the most oppressed people. Now he's like, oh, as an atheist, I disagree with the higher power. Dude, he is a fucking schnauzer, is what he is, dude. That's what he is. He is a schnauzer who can sniff dollar bills with startling accuracy. Oh shit!
Later, okay, but look, the thing I do get is this country's in trouble, and our politicians, 98% of them are corrupt. So this is where we're having this strange agreement with right-wing populists and left-wing populists. Right?
Dude, for him to, first off, to put Tucker under the populist umbrella and to imply that Tucker's not corrupt. Like, wow.
Right? Because Tucker in that speech, there are some parts he said about immigration that really bothered me and I'm against. But otherwise he's.
But Cenk is like, I'll make a deal with fucking Mussolini if it just means like bad things happen to Israel. That's Cenk's new thing. Dude, Cenk is dangerous. He is. This is how Trump took over the Republican Party, is people are like so desperate for something that they'll align themselves with the worst possible person to get power, to get their one thing. And because he's become a one issue, like Israel bad, we gotta harm Israel, he will partner up with a fucking Stalin if it means like, you know what I mean? He'll fucking sell the whole fucking country down the river to a despot if they promise him that they will hurt Israel. He is like falling prey to the same mentality of like the transphobic people, the Bible bangers that are voting for Trump. It's wild to see, man. It is really wild.
Accurately assessing the same problem we're seeing,
yes,
right?
Yep.
Housing prices, drug prices, lower wages, the average American getting crushed. My assessment is corporate rule. Corporate rule has taken over our government, and the donor class has taken over our government. It's corporations plus now foreign governments, right? And the second part of why that speech that he did was so important, and I remember I watched it that night and I was like, whoa. I might have texted you, this might have been historic.
Yeah, you did, and I agree with you. I do think that was a historic speech because of what he was saying out loud that you typically would not typically, you would never hear at any conservative event, period. You would never hear at a liberal event, period.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things here. Like when Trump started noticing the populism, and then in my opinion, he used it as a prop for his own ego,
cynically,
right?
Yep.
Yep, and he misused it. That's why he doesn't release the Epstein files. He does what Israel asked for, gives giant tax breaks to the wealthy while cutting Medicaid and SNAP, et cetera, right? But he was the first one to realize, oh, don't go establishment, don't go elites, go towards populism, whether you mean it or not. But for a lot of populists, these are real problems. These are not props. These are not things that people are using cynically. Now, in terms of Tucker, I don't, cynical or not cynical, I have no freaking idea, right? If you told me Tucker's 100% cynical, he's using them the same way as Trump, I would say, okay, I'd believe you. I wouldn't be like shocked by that. No, really? On the other hand, here's what I really care about. And this is why I believe in populism from the left. I want these things done, right? If someone lowers drug prices, I don't care what their reasoning was. And I don't care if they're fake or real, because the policy itself is real. Pass me a law that says that we don't have to pay these outrageous drug prices without negotiating in a free market. And then if somebody tells me, yeah, but you did it for an evil purpose, I don't care. Okay, I just want that bill passed. I want lower housing prices. And I do care if they use it for other evil purposes in the real world, right? But don't tell me they haven't done that, but they're super evil, so we can't agree with them when they're agreeing with us. And look, we've been here the whole time. Left-wing populists have been anti-war, anti-corruption, and for the average American from day one. So if the populist right is now coming to our side, I'm gonna take yes for an answer on those issues.
Yeah, see, I will say this because I saw somebody say something about like, oh, you can't change bigotry overnight or identity politics, which I want to address and say, if people were worried about like, oh, you can't change bigotry, we'd still be segregated, okay? Like with certain civil rights things, doesn't matter if the bigots fucking change or not, you have to push through and force the issue anyway. But this right here is what happens when you stop defending civil rights, right? Cenk is like, you know what? Forget about their stand on trans people. Forget about their racism. Forget about their misogyny. Forget about everything, because you know what? We really agree on Israel, and we really agree on helping our financial situation here at home. So therefore, we're going to ignore all those other red flags. When at the end of the day, we are stuck in a loop now where the only politics Republicans do are identity politics. That's all they do. That's all they talk about. They talk about DEI. They talk about fucking transgender rights. They talk about pride flags. They don't talk about anything but identity. Republicans play identity politics 100%. What is a woman? Fucking men and women's sports. That's their whole game. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to come prepared to do battle with that. Okay? If we just sit there and say, hey, let's talk about the economy, and they say they're going to cut your kids' dicks off, nobody's even going to listen to the Democrats talk about the economy. Okay? Right? When they think you're going to cut their kids' dicks off, they don't even listen to the fucking plans that you have. Like, we need to fight back, and we need to like make civil rights the foundational aspect of our politics, that we all have a right to be free and included. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, no, this shit here with fucking Cenk is bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude.
And look, just seeing, but one of the main reasons why I decided to go on his podcast is because I'm curious about him, right? Like, we see him in the media, we hear what he has to say, but it's entirely different to get to experience it for yourself. And he lives in rural Maine. It is as rural as it gets. He employs locals. He lives pretty modestly considering how unbelievably wealthy he is. I mean, not only was his biological mother wealthy, his adoptive mother was also incredibly wealthy, you know, an heir to the Swanson fortune. And he lives in a rural part of the country in a modest home. Like, it just, you would expect him to live in like a mega mansion in Beverly Hills or something, but that's not the case, which I thought was interesting. Now, but putting that aside, after we did the episode, just like any other show, his team clipped out specific videos from our conversation. And one of the videos that got published is the following. Let's take a look at a graphic. This is what the thumbnail looks like. It quotes me, he is going to run, right? Because I said that I think he's gonna run. And I wanted to watch it and see, if there was any editing in it.
This is brutal to watch right here.
They did include a clip from his Turning Point USA speech in the context of this clip. So
yeah, dude, he owns multiple $1 million homes, right? He lives, oh my God, he lives modestly, guys. He lives so modestly down on Gasparilla Island, right? All white people, right? Oh,
I want you to take a look at it so you know what I'm talking about.
The speech you gave at Turning Point, you said a few things in there that I might not agree with, but like the overall message was so courageous, and I never thought in a million years I would hear it at a conservative conference. Never.
Hold on, we gotta. Dude, tweet face. Oh, wow, dude. That is crazy. Look at this. 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗏 2028. Like, who is their audience anymore? Right? Like, wow. Dude, this is crazy who their audience is. These people are not progressives. You know what I'm saying? There we go. TRT are Nazi collaborators. Dude. Oh my God, bro. This is wild. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen, bro. Yeah, dude, they're getting fucking they're getting sponsored somewhere,
At some point, I want to look around and see a better country. I want to see a country I recognize. I don't want to see people sleeping on the sidewalk. I don't see people ODing on drugs. I want to know where those drugs coming from. Why can't you stop it? You've got the U.S. military. Don't you have SEAL Team 6? Like, what are they doing today?
Dude, what an idiot, bro. What a fundamental lack of understanding about what drug addiction is, to think the military can just stop the drugs. Like, dude, this guy, right? It's like, I'm sorry, Tucker Carlson, you're not able to fucking even begin to fix the drug issue because you don't even understand it, right? You're like, oh, why can't we throw some might around? And what he said, I don't want to see homeless people on the street. He's worried about seeing it. Yes, I don't want to see this. I'm so burdened by seeing it. It's like, well, hey, man, how about if you actually want to do the work of like injecting compassion and values of compassion and empathy into the fucking society so we actually help those people, right? He just doesn't want to see it, right? Oh, yeah, I don't want to see it. Yeah, great, Tucker.
Don't you have Delta Force? You could give me another segment about how impressive the U.S. military is? I believe you. Why aren't they employed to make my country better? Why are my cities disgusting? I don't even want to go there. It smells like weed and halal food.
Dude, right there, it smells like weed and halal food. Like, dude, what is halal food? Nice little bit of Islamophobia and racism right out in the middle of your fucking, you know what I mean? Like, what? And dude, TYT is like, this is great. They're like excited about this. Fuck you, Anna. Fuck you, Cenk Uygur, you fucking pieces of shit. Goddamn, bro. This is like unfucking believable. By the way, halal food is awesome. Okay? It's better than your fucking whatever, your American hamburger or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We walk in your fucking wood house, your Leatherface house with the weird poodle fucking picture smells like turkey pot pie. And fucking depends, you fucking idiot. Jesus.
And you're lecturing me about how it's a great moral victory that I kicked the boys off the girls' soccer team? Good, I'm so glad. But let's do the real stuff, like making New York livable. And create an economy where my kids can have kids. How about this? How about we just make the measure really super simple? Can my children have without the benefit of like the great luck I have had, can they have a roughly approximate life that I had?
Dude, fuck you, Tucker, because first off, your kids are never going to struggle. Like, this is so disingenuous. Oh, our kids, he's like, our kids. Like, fuck you, Tucker. Your kids aren't going to fucking struggle. Nobody in your family's struggling. You Swanson food fucking silver spoon motherfucker. Like, fuck off, bro. Don't even lecture me about our kids. You don't know what it's like to struggle, Tucker. You've never fucking struggled, right? Dude, Jesus.
Or how about just a middle-class life?
You know, the kind of speech that you gave wouldn't have happened 5 years ago.
What provoked him to give that speech? That specific
Dude, that speech was horribly racist. Dude, that speech was horribly racist. Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And by the way, I like the smell of halal food. Like, I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
So she's like, I like the smell of halal food. She's like, I don't mind it. She's like, I don't mind the smell of halal food. She's like, we're going to just ignore the racism, but I'm just going to go in there and say, I don't mind the smell of halal food. She's like, I don't mind the smell of like Middle Eastern people or whatever. What the fuck is she doing, bro? Yeah, the transphobic shit, kick the boys out of girls' sports. There are no boys playing girls' sports, God damn it. You know what I mean? Like, we need to break that fucking bullshit barrier. All right? There are no boys playing in girls' sports. Nobody wants boys in girls' sports. You fucking clowns. Quit saying that
look,
shit.
that's where he's populist right wing, right?
Yes,
He says obnoxious things like the smell of halal food, like as if that's some sort of terrible thing, right?
He says something obnoxious like the smell of halal food. I thought you were a Muslim, Cenk. Are you not pissed that he's being racist? Oh no, you don't care about racism, right? Because he's promising you some fucking anti-Israel sentiment that's getting your little 2-inch PP all like fucking like all engorged, dude.
But if you notice, he also did say minimize trans issues. So that's him powering down on the culture wars. Because it's not like he hasn't powered up. I mean, it's not like he's not the one that did the Eminem segments and a million other segments, right? So, and in the conversation with Anna, he said many times that he had apologized for some of his past positions. I don't know which positions. I don't know which ones.
He has. In researching and listening to episode after episode of his podcast, he does denounce himself on specific things that he has said in the past that he regrets.
Yeah.
Dude, see, when I hear halal, like for me, I just think of the fucking chicken and rice carts in New York City. Right? I don't have experience of like what it actually means, the whole broad category. I think exclusively of the carts in New York, right? With the yellow rice and the chicken that I fucking love. And usually a super personable fucking guy who's like a great storyteller that I fucking hang out with and drink like multiple Dr. Peppers while he fucking makes me laugh and shit. And then I fucking sit on the curb and fucking hang out. And that's an experience I have every time I go to New York, like multiple times. Like I race to the carts because I just love the vibes, bro. I love the vibes of the street cart guys in New York, right? And fucking, but like whatever Tucker was it was an obvious slam at like Middle Easterners, Arabs, right? Or fucking non-white people. You know, Tucker was using it as a dog whistle, right? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, yeah, what is this chicken? I mean, it smells like chicken, you fucking clown. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, dude, the Browns. That's it. That's what it is, man. Is it technically halal though? Is food from Muslim countries? Because I mean, if that's the case, dude, there's like a wide variety of foods across different Muslim countries. You know what I mean? Like, my God, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the Muslims in fucking, you know, in Africa are very, very different from the fucking Muslims in the Middle East. You know, and then you go to India, like, my God, dude, it's like, oh, so it has to be blessed. So it is. It's interesting because I remember with I worked with a guy who was an Orthodox Jewish guy back right out of college, and he like wore the prayer gown and shit, and he had really, like, him being Orthodox, he had really strict food rules. Like, he brought his own food, he brought his own silverware. Like, he had a very like super specific way that he had to both prepare the food and how he could eat it. So halal is like a Muslim version of that, technically, where it's like the religious observance of how to prepare food in the eyes of God, right? Interesting. I didn't know that. I always just applied it to the carts.
Yeah. So, but the reason why I thought the speech was important, not because of the halal stuff, it's because of he is breaking the mythology.
Episode after episode of his podcast, he does denounce himself on specific things that he has said in the past that he regrets.
Yeah. But the reason why I thought the speech was important, not because of the halal stuff, it's because.
See, the thing about this, though, is he's denounced the things he said. He regrets saying things. But my question is, does he still believe those things, right? Because there's a difference in, sure, you regret saying shit, okay, because you're whatever, you're stirring the pot, you're grifting. But do you still believe that replacement theory shit? Do you still believe that fucking Swanson family, wealthy hierarchy fucking bullshit? That higher power called you to run for president nonsense? You know what I mean? He regrets saying shit because it's like gonna haunt him. But who cares about the regret about saying something? What do you believe, right? Because I don't think he believes anything different than he ever did, fucking Tucker.
He is breaking the mythology that both mainstream media, which same mythology we break from the left, like Israel's, again, I'll use Israel first and then the corporate guys. Israel's our special ally. Anyone who criticizes him is an anti-Semite and a hateful person. And we all owe them another $300 billion. They owe us nothing, et cetera, et cetera. And like all of this propaganda that everybody in Washington takes as a given, it's not a given, it's all lies. So now that we're smashing it from both sides, it's in a little bit of trouble. On the corporate stuff, the reason why Anna said I've never seen a Republican give a speech like that, sure on Israel, but both parties suck on Israel, right? But when you're talking about.
Dude, this is disgusting to watch. I mean, there's one thing I will say, okay, that like for whatever, I will say that Tucker is openly racist enough to possibly end up being their candidate, okay? That is like, the more openly racist you are, the better chance of your survival in the modern day Republican Party. And Tucker is about as racist as they fucking come, right? As we saw just in his little speech. Now, these guys don't care about racism anymore, okay? Because they're racist too. I mean, let's not mince words. Fucking Cenk Uygur and 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗍𝗀 are both fucking deeply racist, okay? What went on with Kamala Harris in this election, clear as day. You could talk to Pastor Ben or fucking Mondale Robinson, they would fucking confirm it, okay? 100% these two are fucking racist, okay? And now they're like transphobic too, you know what I mean? And they're moving into that whole law and order fucking space. But which is why they're just like, oh, I like the smell of halal. Oh, it's right. They're acting as though the smell of halal is really what Tucker was talking about and not the fucking, you know, an incredibly racist dog whistle, an Islamophobic dog whistle. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are fucking disgusting now. Like Anna and Cenk, they have literally reached total fucking disgust level, right? You know what I'm saying? Mondale says racist. Oh, dude, you know they are. I mean, goddamn, we could roll back 10 years ago and they were fucking saying the N-word and yucking it up right in between celebrity camel toes, right? Now they're transphobic. They've always been closeted. Well, so Sam, I got to say with me, you ready? I didn't really pay these guys much mind. So you're right. It's possible that they've been this the whole time and they've been just dancing around it. Of course, they didn't turn that. I mean, he was a Republican before he became a fucking progressive, right? You know, he was a pre-George Bush Republican. So you're right. They've probably been that way the whole time. I didn't notice that because I never paid these guys any mind. You know, I mean, for me, not to sound like a dick, but for me, Cenk Uygur just has never had enough charisma for me to ever watch him. Like, I'll watch him to fucking shred him. You know what I'm saying? I will. I'll watch him to fucking bash the guy, but there's no way I could watch this guy and like, you know what I'm saying? There's no way I could watch this guy and connect with him because he's the least charismatic fucking human being on the planet, bro. He's always got like a fucking 2-inch layer of smear over his fucking head. You know what I'm saying? And he's fake outrage and he's wearing the same outfit like every day, dude. It's like, this guy is like the least charismatic human being on the fucking planet, bro. You know what I mean? He used to use transgenders as an insult. No. Oh, see, that's so dirty, right? So he's been belittling them the whole time. Yeah, that's fucked up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Dude, all I can say is I don't think there's a transgender person around who would fuck this nasty motherfucker. Like, Cenk would be lucky for a transgender person to give him the time of day. I think they'd all be like, ew, right? They'd rather go fuck a fucking bedpost or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Dude. Oh, shit.
Actually caring about the average American my whole life. Why am I on the left? Because Republicans have been like, oh my God, we got to take care of these poor billionaires. They just haven't gotten enough tax cuts and loopholes and deregulation. And they almost never talk about the average guy, right? Well, it's like they'll say, oh, we're giving small business a tax break. And you'll find out 1% of it applies to small business, 99% applies to giant businesses. So lip service, pretending to care about small business, but always serving corporations, always serving the donors. And that was not the speech that Tucker gave. Now you say, well, is he for real or not? Well, we're gonna find out maybe if Anna and I are right, we might find out in the 2028 primaries, right? So, and then of course, you never find out until they're actually in office. And in that case, I would say, God forbid, because I want somebody who's on the populist left to win, okay? And so, but is he gonna have a better chance than some of the people that establishment media is propping up?
Yes, I see. Here's
like Tom Cotton and Marco Rubio.
Dude, Tom Cotton. Dude, Tom Cotton's never gonna fucking be a presidential candidate. Jesus. Oh God.
And mainstream media's like, oh, we're after the spell breaks.
Dude, you know what's crazy though, guys? Is if we had a 2028 that was Gavin Newsom versus Tucker Carlson, they would be shilling for
we get rid of Trump.
For Tucker Carlson. Bro, like that is the writing that's on the wall. Dude, don't get me wrong. I don't love Gavin Newsom, but like, my God, I would rather have Gavin Newsom 100,000 times over Tucker Carlson, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but dude, they are bottoming out, okay? They are bottoming the fuck out. It is like rock bottom time.
MAGA. We'll go right back to the boy, Marco Rubio. I don't think that's gonna happen at all.
His competition is Vance in the primaries.
Yeah, so no, and Hawley, okay?
And Hawley.
No, definitely Josh Hawley.
Dude,
okay?
Hawley, please. Dude.
Okay, so like all the corporate guys are gone.
Dude, when are we gonna talk about the Democrats here on the Progressive News Network? We are now 13 minutes in of a 19-minute video, 2/3 down, and all we're doing is having the Tucker Carlson double tug fest, bro. Dude, Tucker is probably having an orgasm right now from what's going on this fucking show, bro.
Honors, they just don't know it. It's like in Kill Bill when they do that 5-point, thing on your heart and you don't know it, but you walk away and then your heart explodes. All their careers have already exploded. They just don't know it because they're surrounded by goofballs in mainstream media. Oh yeah, Marco, you might win. No one MAGA wants. None of the Trump voters want Marco Rubio and neocons and like Tom Cotton. Okay, Hawley's gonna have a real go at it, but the problem is he keeps voting with Trump.
Yeah.
Right, and that's an albatross around his neck. He just cut 12 million people off of Medicaid. He's, oh, I don't want to. He said before and after the bill, but brother, you voted for it.
Yep.
So welcome to that albatross right around your neck, okay? Because those guys that got kicked off of Medicaid, they're gonna be super pissed, and there's no way they're gonna vote for you, right? So then, of course, JD Vance. JD Vance is a snake, okay? So, and you could say Tucker's a snake.
Yeah, Tucker is a snake.
I'm super worried about it. I'm worried about all of them.
Oh yeah, sure you are, Cenk. That's why for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, you've been fucking polishing the Tucker knob. Dude, Tucker's knob is like shining chrome right now. Dude, and Cenk's jaw's sore. He's like, how'd I do, Tucker? Oh shit.
Okay. But at least, but then what I would say is if you're right, Tucker's a more sophisticated one. Because Vance is kind of obvious. He took $10 million from Peter Thiel.
Yep.
He was in like 3rd place when he took that money.
Yep.
The money he uses to catapult. He does every kind of favor. Did you know that Vance just went and had a secret meeting with the Murdochs in Montana? Oof. They did not record it in the in the places they were supposed to record it.
Wait, the Murdochs, who Trump is super furious at right now?
Yes.
Those Murdochs?
And it was right before the Wall Street Journal printed their story about Trump and Epstein.
It was right before.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Look, that can go in 2 different directions.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh yeah, dude, what are they doing, bro? Like, what is this, dude?
No, that's going to be published soon.
Yes.
Vance didn't know though.
One, they could be giving advance word to Vance, and then he goes and tells Trump. That's the benign, from Republican point of view, the benign explanation.
Right.
Not for us, but for the Republicans, right? The other possibility is, brother, Trump already passed the tax cuts. We're done with them.
Oh God, politics is so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
You're batter up.
Yeah.
We're afraid they're going to find out the Epstein files are Mossad, so we're going to dump it on Trump. So get ready, okay?
Wow.
Here, I'm calling in JD from the bullpen, right? I don't know. There's no way of knowing what was in their secret meeting. That has not been leaked, but they definitely had that meeting, and that is clear. So there's a lot of people with tons of baggage. Can Tucker afford mansions? Well, of course he can. He could afford 8 mansions, right? He's living in rural Maine, either because he wants to, or that is what I would do if I was going to run for Republican primary in 2028, right?
As a populist.
As a populist, right?
Yep.
So whether you believe him or not, he has figured out what the right problems are, not necessarily the right solutions, but the right problems, right? And he has figured out that populism is the correct path.
Dude, populism. They're calling Tucker Carlson a populist. Like, dude, racist people can't be populists. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. When you are racist and you believe in the replacement theory and you are transphobic, you are not populist by nature. The first requirement of a populist is that you are including everyone. There's no out group, okay? You fucking clowns. If there's an out group, if there's a group of people you're not represented, a group of people that you're halal fooding or whatever, you are not a populist. Populism isn't just simply like approved by fucking 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗍𝗀. You fucking morons. Goddamn, bro.
So if you're worried about Tucker, then you should be doubly worried, right?
Because he's also incredibly smart. You know, say what you will about him, he is smart, he is strategic, and
And Anna's like, and his knob was so easy to polish. I love it. I can't wait to go polish it again in rural Maine. I'm gonna fucking, I'm gonna take my special jaw detacher with me the next time I go to the so I can just take the whole lower half of Tucker.
For the left, I mean, you look at the landscape on the Democratic side.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm just going to be honest, the names that are popping up do not inspire much confidence. And that, I mean, the left should be worried about that.
She's not like Tucker. Dude, the names that are popping up on the left don't inspire any confidence like Tucker.
I mean, who's going to run in 2028?
Yeah. So guys, this is why I keep telling you got to join the rebellion. You got to make sure those rebellion PAC candidates win.
Dude,
so we can win.
You got to join the rebellion to support Tucker Carlson. Bro, dude, I'm serious. We've watched a lot of this shit, guys. Okay, I know we've watched them. We've punked them for their outrageous takes and their racism and their transphobia. But I literally feel like I am living in the upside down right now because I have never seen them just openly shilling for a racist replacement theory candidate as though they're like hoping he runs so they can literally put everything behind him, giving him some crazy tag as a populist. It's like, how much did he pay them? Is this part of Tucker's campaign? Is he buying up the shady media? Is he gonna buy up PBD and fucking Lindy Lee? Right? You know what I'm saying? Is he like buying up this fucking like anti-democratic media? We know he's got the money for it. We know he could buy them up, down, and sideways. Easy.
In red districts and have the credibility to run the right candidate in the Democratic primary in 2028. If you run a corporate robot against Tucker, we're gonna get mauled.
Slaughtered.
I'm giving you that not as a, hey, that's great. I'm giving you that as a warning.
Yeah, and Cenk's like, if you run anybody on the Democratic Party against Tucker, we're gonna make sure to destroy that Democratic candidate. He is full of shit. I think Tucker's easily beatable, dude. You know what I'm saying? I do. I think Tucker's fucking beatable. The only thing that's worrisome about him is he is so openly racist that you know he's going to fuel the racism and the identity politics. So you're going to have to fight in an identity politics war if you run against Tucker, because the transgender and the replacement theory shit is going to be the fucking central thing disguised under a veil of America first and taking care of our own citizens, but it's exclusively going to be that Christian fucking like identity politics shit that if we pretend like it's not and we don't bring that fight, then they're going to fucking exploit that, you know? Dude, Cenk is he's a fucking clown, bro.
Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? Because I know Democrats and Democratic ass kissers, they'll be like, oh, you told us Tucker might win, and so that means you wanted it. No, I'm warning, do not run a Kamala Harris type of person against a sophisticated populist. You will get destroyed. Do you know right now, Trump is underwater, 7 points underwater. Republicans are 11 points underwater. So Democrats should be ready to bounce and pounce and take advantage, right? Democrats, 30 points underwater. As Trump is melting down, the Democrats are melting down at a greater rate. If you believe leadership again and you pick someone like Buttigieg or Newsom, it's going to be a slaughter.
Over.
Okay? So,
dude, I think if it was Newsom, Tucker Carlson, I think Newsom beats Tucker Carlson. I honestly do. I think Newsom would win that fucking battle.
No, you have to go populist.
Dude, Newsom has way more charisma, right? Way more charisma. The thing about Tucker is Tucker's gonna appeal to that racist nod, but Tucker doesn't, he's offensive. He's like a smarmy little fucking dude. You know what I mean? He's a smarmy guy, right?
You don't have
with his he's got one of those fake like fucking laughs and shit. He's a smarmy guy.
Even if you're like a Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden loving Democrat, if you pick one of them, it's a guaranteed loss to Tucker Carlson.
Dude, nobody loved Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? Nobody fucking loved Joe Biden. Come on, enough with the we love Joe Biden. We were fucking desperate, dude. Nobody loved Joe Biden.
Okay, well, or whoever runs, like Hawley or Vance or whatever, right? Yeah. So if you want to lose, you pick a corporate robot. But if you don't want to lose, you have to pick a Bernie-style candidate. And yes,
Yeah, like, well, who is it, Cenk? Are they going to tell us who their Bernie candidate is?
No, I think that there are. I think Ro Khanna, Jon Stewart. I think there's some real...
Ro Khanna? Dude, Ro Khanna? All right, Jon Stewart, I think would actually be a fucking good candidate. But Ro Khanna? Like, dude, fuck, Ro Khanna could not win a goddamn national election if he fucking in his wildest dreams. Like, are you fucking shitting me? I know they're obsessed with Jon Stewart. And Jon Stewart could probably win as an outsider. I think so. But Ro Khanna? Come on, dude. Ro Khanna would never even get out of the fucking primary. You know what I'm saying? Like, please.
Really interesting choices, okay? And we'll have those conversations, we'll have those debates. But if you say, no, there's a great governor, there's a great senator, former cabinet secretary, and my God, they have so much money, they can compete with them. Remember, Hillary and Kamala had way more money than Donald Trump.
Dude, Hillary and Kamala were women, and Kamala was a black woman, and you're, Cenk, you're a racist, misogynist fuck. So, like, hello, you know why Hillary and Kamala didn't win with all the money, because they were fighting an uphill battle against people who write blogs about not being able to fuck women in fucking South Beach when they're a smarmy little roly-poly fucking sweaty-looking motherfucker, right? With the fucking, you know what I'm saying? With the Brillo pad personality.
Trump.
Like, come on, dude.
And they got their clocks cleaned.
They got their clocks cleaned. Dude, Hillary won the popular vote significantly, and Kamala lost by 1.4%, dude, right? Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, dude, Lattimore. You're right. They're trying to kneecap the Democrats, right? They are. They're trying to kneecap the Democrats. They want the Democrats to run Ro Khanna. Oh, great. Yeah, that's great. Why don't we just get Vivek over here, right? Get Vivek Ramaswamy to run for the Democratic Party, or what's his name? We get fucking Alyssa Slotkin, right? We'll get her keyed up, right? Or Tom Suozzi. Dude, Jesus Christ, dude. It's giving us the most milquetoast fucking, like, I don't know, like, fucking platitude giving, right? You know what I'm saying? The most platitude giving fucking politician. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Ro Khanna is a bad guy, but Ro Khanna is a guy who's, like, if you look at him, he is a really sort of like demure, like well-cut, wealthy representative who represents a wealthy fucking district, right? And he talks about, you know, these progressive platitudes, but every time they fucking lose, right? Every time the Democrats lose, he fucking gets a raise, you know what I mean? His fucking portfolio gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? We need somebody who's willing to roll up their sleeves and fucking throw some fucking punches. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see punches thrown. I want to see fucking hammering Republicans, like uppercuts, gut punches, throat punches. I want to see some fucking aggression, okay? And Ro Khanna, he has 0% aggression. Guy's a fucking pushover. Dude, if he's leading the charge for us to get healthcare, we're never gonna have healthcare because he's a fucking pushover, bro. You could fucking one push and Ro Khanna would be like down the stairs. You know what I mean? Dude, yeah, TYT, this is dog shit. Dude, we're gonna watch Krystal tomorrow. I wanna watch it, but I gotta go make videos. I gotta go eat some food. I'm fucking feisted, and we are gonna watch Krystal tomorrow because we don't need it. It's not like newsworthy right today. And I know that one, how long is it? How long is her interview? Maybe I'll pre-look at it so I can find spots. Oh, it's only 30 minutes. Oh, great. We're starting with this tomorrow. And we didn't get the dance. I'll give you a little bit of a dance on the way out because I'm that kind of guy. But dude, we got to get edit mode. We love you. Oh, we love you too. Let's go. 50K today, baby. Oh, 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 oh. Remember, part 3 of the Epstein Files timeline's coming out tomorrow, too. This is actually what I look like when I'm editing, because I use the fucking sound quieting or whatever, noise canceling headphones, which is good. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗽, dude, love Cat. All right, we're gonna go out with a good tune though. We're gonna go out with a little Radiant, guys. I'm feeling radiant. Little Radiant dance. Hey, I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't ever ring around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, 'cause I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. Hey, I just want to change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. See you guys tomorrow, baby! I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Radiant. My world. Yeah. I can't pretend. No. Oh, I hope it never ends. It's about you. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. See you guys tomorrow. I know that you will understand, because I finally found